All right. All right, so I wasn't gonna film this, right? But I'm gonna start filming some stuff anytime I'm doing these little things to show you guys what I do throughout the day, throughout the weeks. I'm a self-proclaimed expert when it comes to learning, which means I'm not really an expert in nothing. But what I did, I removed the screws, I removed all the lug nuts, and jacked up the truck. You want to find a frame to where you want to get that truck up. You could turn the wheel to get access to this. There are 2 bolts, 1, 2, and those are 19mm bolts. I used a breaker bar. I used a breaker bar to get it out because it was pretty tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our time and we're going to remove these bolts out of here. That's the first thing we want to do when it comes to getting access to your brakes. So my thing is, you want to learn anything that you have, how to fix your house, how to fix your cars, your motorcycles, your boats, your planes, because I know some of you are millionaires that follow me, which I know personally, and some of you I don't know personally, and some of you do have planes and boats, but you want to learn how to fix some stuff and not be afraid to attack it. See what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing today, baby. Let's get it. So this one is tight. I'm using this breaker bar to break it a bit. There we go. And if you have access to the right tools and you want to go, pick up some speed, you can use your impact wrench. I'm gonna grab here, get this up, and the pistons can sometimes be a little tight. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of squeeze if I can. Try to pry this open a bit. There we go. And then your brakes are right here. These are your brakes right here. All right. And these brakes, they are pretty much done. Yeah, we're gonna get some new brakes in here. All right, so on this truck, there's 2 big screws back here. The camera can't see it, but it's 1 and 2, and you want to get that off, right? So I use the breaker bar and loosen it up. So what we're gonna do now is just take that off the rest of the way, get it out the way, and then install the brakes. All right, here we go. All right, so we got the caliper out, and we're gonna get the brakes in. So I want you to look at something real quick. Hopefully you could see it. I'm not sure if you can see the thickness of this brake, the new brake versus the older brake. You can see the difference that this brake was pretty done. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna remove the anti-rattle clips. This come with new ones. So you're gonna take a screwdriver and we're gonna pry it off. Just be careful not to hurt yourself. And then we're gonna replace that by snapping the new ones in. So both sides has the same thing, but all I'm doing is using the screwdriver. Like I said, I'm just prying this up. Pay attention to the different sides. You got a thicker side and a thinner side. So they are definitely side. It's important which side you use because it won't fit. So one of the things you can do here as well is there's a little packet that comes in the case with the it's like a grease, and you could put some right here. Put a little bit in between the slots, rub that in, and then you can put this back on. There's a lot of little steps that you can do. You could also utilize the anti-seize, and you could put a little bit of anti-seize right here in this spot right here as well. But I'm just doing a nice quick brake change. Just going to show you these extra little steps that you can use. And then also, if you want to put some more anti-seize inside of the bolts, you can do that as well. So this just goes here. You just squeeze out. You don't need to use a whole lot. And then you can put some on top. So once you put that back in, Once you snap this back into place, then you could also put some on here as well if you choose to. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of Loctite on this bolt right here. Normally when you put a new calipers on here, it comes with the Loctite on it already. But in this case, I'm just replacing this. So I'm going to put the Loctite on here, hand tighten this down. Do the same thing on the other side. Just add some Loctite. You don't have to go crazy on it. And then we're going to torque this down to about 127, between 125 to 127 foot-pounds. If you get a brush, a wire brush, you could use a wire brush too next time and just kind of clean off any unnecessary rust that you might see. Keeping that protected. Tighten that down the rest of the way. So from that point now, we're going to do the torque spec. You're doing, listen for that click. I'll do it one more time. Good. Beautiful. So that's now torqued down. So what I do is these bolts right here, I'm gonna clean off the grease off of this, and you can use some brake cleaner if you want to clean this off as well. I'm using some lube that I have. They have a specific brake lube, but it's just like a degreaser that they use. So I'm just gonna put some degrease on this, a new coat. But you can use the brake grease. So as you put the brake on, find that little shape. Find that shape. And this is gonna slide on. If it doesn't slide on, what you can do is loosen up the calipers, which I did already, and then you can get that on, okay? And then this one, same thing on this side, it will slide into place. So now I have to get the pistons pushed in. So this is the piston tool. Take your time and it will start to gradually press the pistons in. And what I do, I use a brake, the old brake, to press it next to it. And if it doesn't go in enough, then I can use another brake to get it to go in more. Much better. Let's get this lined up. If you ask me, the hardest part is getting this heavy ass tire on. Of this whole job, to me, that's the hardest part. Because you got to find the angle and you got to line it up. So what I do, I just rest it on there. And once you get this on, and you start putting these lug nuts back on, what you're gonna do is you're gonna create a star pattern. You're gonna tighten them down in that star pattern. So here's what I mean when I say with a star pattern. I'll start with this one. Then from here, I'll go like that. Then I'll go here. Then I'll go here. Then I'll go here. So the pattern, there's no specific pattern for the star, at least not that I know of. But the point is making sure you just randomly get them tightened down. So we're gonna go to 140 foot-pounds of torque. Now you can lower the truck down, which is what I might do anyway. So I'm just gonna set my torque specs, bring it to 140, and I'll lower the truck down to where the tire is touching the floor. Better. Good. I love that clack sound. When you hear that clack sound, that's how you know you got it. Love it. I think I like the clack better than the beep. They have the automatic ones, the digital ones. Now I'm just going random. You can see how much more play you have, and that's why the torquing is important. Because the wrench did not bring this down to where it needed to go, right? And there's nothing wrong if you hit the same one. That way you know you have your torque specs legit. So now I'm going to go around each one just to make sure I got it. I'm going just in order, because sometimes if you're not paying attention, you can miss one. There we go. All right, that's it. All right, so now what happens is when you right now, look at this. It goes all the way down, right? Because of those pistons. So you want to keep on pumping it and build that pressure back up. See, and now I can feel it getting stiff again, because all that fluid that we pushed through the pistons went to the master cylinder. Oh yeah, now it's starting to build that pressure up. See, now I can't get it to sink all the way down. All right, so that's pretty much it for the install on the brakes. It's not a very hard process. It's just a matter of pretty much understanding it. And no, there's a lot of different ways that people do brakes. If you have to change out your rotors, same concept. I didn't change out my rotors, I just changed out the brakes on this one. The brake change process, I see people will use different stuff. They will clean out things more. I didn't do that much stuff on this one, just a simple brake change, but it's not as difficult as you think. All right, so this is Sensei from Ride Fit Nation telling you, let's get these miles, get this money, let's get this muscle. Let me say it slower. Let's get these miles, let's get this money, let's get these muscles. All right, I'm out. Don't forget, leave your comments. I'll see you later. Peace.